The case of the floating fish, the shimmering confines of a fishbowl, bright pebbles, plastic seaweed, and the soft gurgle of an air pump. In this surreal miniature world, Gill Finley, PI, is the top detective, known for solving the toughest crimes in the tank. His gray hat and trench coat have been shrunk to fit his aquatic frame, and his eyes squint behind magnified bubbles. It was just another quiet day in the fishbowl, a place where fish minds their own bubbles, until Tracy was called in to investigate the murder of Finn Floaty, a flashy, betta fish who'd seen his last ripple. Finn was found belly up near the plastic castle, floating lifelessly beneath the surface. Gill Finley squinted at the crime scene. Finn's vibrant fins were still, his scales shimmering in the filtered light. But there was something wrong. A peculiar way the gills had stopped moving, and a thin, barely noticeable sheen on the water's surface. The suspects were an odd bunch, each with their own motive and watery secrets. 1. Goldie the Glam Glimmer, a golden fantail, known for her vanity and obsession with being the most admired fish in the bowl. Finn was always stealing the spotlight, and Goldie didn't like sharing. Finn thought he could outshine me. Humph, not in this bowl, she said, flicking her tail. 2. Bubbles Malone, a sluggish but crafty plecostomus who mostly stuck to the shadows, sucking algae off the sides. He and Finn had run-ins before. Finn mocked his bottom feeder status, and Bubbles wasn't known for taking insults lightly. Finn was always blowing hot air. Never thought he'd end up blown away, Bubbles muttered. 3. Slick Sal, a guppy with a silver tongue and shady connections. He ran a few underground operations, controlling the flow of food flakes when the owners weren't looking. Rumor had it that Finn was going to spill some dirt on Sal's illegal pellet deals. Ain't my fault the fish couldn't swim straight, Sal said, fidgeting nervously. Gill swam slow circles around the tank, piecing together the clues. There was no sign of struggle, no floating weapons, just Finn, a little too still, a little too serene. Then it hit him, the strange sheen on the water. Poison. But who could have done it? After swimming through witness statements and poking around suspicious algae patches, Gill had it figured out. It was Goldie the Glam Glimmer. She'd been slipping bits of tainted food flakes into Finn's territory for days, growing jealous of his attention and figuring no one would suspect the glamorous queen of the tank. Finn took the bait, literally, and his untimely float was the result. Gill confronted Goldie, who tried to flick her fins in innocence, but the bubbles of truth floated to the surface. Finn didn't know when to quit, she said, her tone bitter. I'm the star of this tank. Always have been, always will be. With Goldie sent to the solitary section of the tank, justice was served once again in the small, but turbulent world of the fishbowl. Gill Finley tipped his hat, satisfied, as he swam off into the bubbles, ready for his next case in the deep end. The end.